One thing about strong chess players is that they do not solve puzzles by brute force. They recognize patterns, and this position is a perfect example. One familiar idea, and once you get it, it changes everything forever. This puzzle has only one real idea, and once you find the pattern, the move plays itself. This is the position on the board. Black is up 3 points. As you can see, there's a queen and a bishop. Black also has a queen and a bishop. The difference makers are the 3 pawns black has. But it's not as simple as that, because white is to play next. And as you can see, the black king is actually exposed. It is not in the best of position for the main time. So how do you exploit this as white to ensure that you are able to convert this game? Because it is actually winnable for white. But if only they recognize the pattern I said earlier. Even though black is up 3 pawns in this position, if you want to salvage this position, the first thing you need to do is to find your checks. That is a rule of thumb in chess. So check with the bishop. The king has limited squares to move to. Believe you me, if the king moves here, it's going to be checkmate with the queen. So definitely black would not play that. So what defensive resource would you use here as black? Well, I think it is pretty obvious. Simply blocking with the bishop. As white, you cannot simply capture or you say you want to exchange, because black is up 3 points. And as the popular saying goes, leave one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe. And to make it even worse, there are 3 sheep here. To make it even worse than that, there are 3 black sheep. There's a pass pawn, and there are also 2 not connected, but they are very close to the king. So there's no way you are going to win this position if you simply exchange the bishop. But how are you going to continue this game as white? There seems to be no move to be played. But like I said, it's not about brute force, it's about calculation. And if you stare closely at the board, you are going to see the move queen to e5. The reason this move is brilliant is because it is a royal pin. We are pinning the bishop to the king and the queen together. What this simply means is that obviously the queen cannot be captured, because this white bishop is pinning the dark bishop to the king. And the bishop cannot be captured because you are going to be losing the queen. So what should black do in this position? Well, they are left with no other option than to come here, and it's definitely going to drop. The king has to move here. Now, that is the first part of the puzzle. At this point in the game, you cannot say you just want to simply capture this pawn and say, oh, let me go up a pawn and try to win the end game. Like I said earlier, leave one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe. And in this position, you have 2 sheep, 2 black sheep. So the position cannot be won just by capturing this pawn. The queen can come into the attack. The king and the queen are so close to these pawns, and they can actually hurt you in the future if you do not know what you're doing. So if you see a good move, as they say in chess, look for a better one. And the better move in this position, you could still follow the rule of thumb is by checking the king. And the king will be tucked to this corner. How do you follow up? Well, still the same rule of thumb. Keep checking the king. Now, it's really tricky. The king cannot move anywhere. The queen cannot stop this check, because if it comes here, it's going to be captured by the bishop. But black has a beautiful resource. Pawn to f6. Now, do you see the pattern? Do you see the pattern I said earlier about this puzzle? It's really simple. If you did not see it now, you should be able to see it now. And the pattern is queen to g5. The reason queen to g5 is still the same royal fork, like it happened earlier in the puzzle. The queen cannot be captured because it is pinned to the king by the bishop. And if the bishop captures, like the engine is recommending, the queen drops. And after the check, you can simply, now you have the capability to leave 2 or 3 wolves alive, because you don't have a sheep, you have a hunter in the room. These pawns are going to drop and you're going to win the game by simply checkmating the king, the black king, with your queen and your king. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this puzzle, get me to 2K. I have more. And also, you definitely enjoy this puzzle on your screen. Thank you very much.